Hello. Okay, so you guys, I'm like so far behind on the videos and content and all the things that I've wanted to bring to you. Like, it's so bad. But I thought I would start, my last video was all about, leaving Beachbody, walking away from like 4 years of business growth and taking care of me, doing what I needed to do. And I wanted to share with you guys my 1 month, it's been a little bit over a month, but my first month of teaching with VIPKID. So, first off, I am freaking obsessed, like so obsessed with, teaching in general. But I wanted to kind of like go back a little because there's like a story behind why it is that like I love teaching so much. So exactly 10 years ago this May, I found out at 17 years old that I was having Sophie. Okay. So 10 years ago at 17, I found out that I was pregnant, that I was going to have a baby, that my life was going to look entirely differently than I did like a few days prior to that. I had just recently applied to universities. I hadn't applied to universities, but I was choosing all of my classes for looking into universities. So I already had an idea of what that plan was going to look like. I wanted to go into teaching. I wanted to teach high school. I wanted to go backpacking. I wanted to experience things. I wanted to do all this stuff, but like at the center of what did my career look like? What did I want to be doing with my life? I wanted to be a teacher. And when, I touched on this a little bit in my last video, but it's kind of like interesting to me, like how full circle, life can be sometimes. So like I said, 10 years ago in May is when I would have when I found out that I was having Soph. And I still was adamant I was going to pursue teaching. I was going to pursue my post-secondary education, get my bachelor's, do all these things. And I got accepted in grade 12 into a number of education programs across the province. I accepted one of them. I moved Soph and I, 2.5 hours away from family so that I could attend and become a teacher. And that first year of school was really, really difficult. I had a really hard time with postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety and separation issues with, not being with her, which came from like a whole other set of things that her and I had been through. So it was just really, really hard for me. I got really sick. I was in and out of the hospital, and I was forced to withdraw from my studies, and I kind of started to look at a different path. Like I needed to find a different path that was going to benefit her, that was going to benefit me and my future, and then, our family as we grew. And I went on, I got my bachelor's degree in sociology and a minor in psychology. I did it all online from the comfort of my own home, which has really been like my theme since like the beginning of 2010. I finished my grade 12 year online. I did my post-secondary degree online. I built a business online, and now I'm teaching online. I don't know if you guys can see a theme, but I'm a giant introvert. I would rather be right here in the comfort of my own home in my cupcake pajamas, because yes, I might look like kind of like I got my shit together from like Europe, but otherwise I'm in pajamas, you guys. Like I would say 100% of the time. That or shorts, and my girls make fun of me for it all the time. But I'm comfortable. I'm in my space. I'm in my realm. I love it. And it's what I'm used to. And when I decided to switch paths between coaching, fitness coaching and that, realm of things, and walk away from that, before I had done that, I was really looking into like, what was my next steps going to be? And it wasn't necessarily going to be in the internet social media world. I was just looking for something that was going to bring me joy, that was going to work with having the girls, because I still wanted to be present. I wanted to be a part of their lives. I didn't want them to be going to before and after school care. I certainly didn't want to be leaving the house, X number of hours a week only to be paying somebody else to watch my kids. And that's really what part-time work looks like, because I didn't want to work full-time. I didn't want to be out of the home 40 hours a week. I didn't want to do that. And so if I was going to be working part-time hours, it was literally going to mean that either I was never going to see Adam, which again, bless the hearts of all the people that, do that, but that wasn't something that I wanted to do. He is my rock, and I would not be able to function if I didn't see him. He already works 80-hour weeks. So if I was to top that with I'm going to go and work when you're home, it would have been way too much, and I wouldn't have been able to emotionally and mental health wise, I wouldn't have been able to handle that. So I was looking for something that was going to be flexible, that I could do during the hours that the girls were at school. It didn't matter if it was in the house, if it was in my community, if I had to commute a little bit, I really didn't care. And so I was scrolling through job website after job website after job website, and I couldn't find exactly the thing that I wanted. And then VIPKID popped up, and I will be totally real and honest, just like everybody else, when something comes up that hits all your marks, all the things that you want, all the things that you're looking for, it's a build your own schedule, it's do it on your own time, do it from the comfort of your own home, all the things, you're automatically yeah, okay, whatever, I don't believe you. Okay. And so that's how I was. I researched and researched and researched. I hadn't stepped away from coaching yet. I was still juggling all the things, still trying to figure it all out. And I was you know what? What do I have to lose? I can teach English as a second language online. And I can do it from home. I can do it around the girls' schedules, and it could be a couple $100 extra every month that I could bring in, instead of me getting a part-time job and having to pay somebody to watch the girls, which then wouldn't even make financial sense. So I didn't even care if it was just fresh tattoo. I didn't even care if it was just a couple hours a week, if it was just a couple $100 a month, anything would be beneficial, because I talked about before, one of the big reasons was Adam and I want to pay off a large amount of debt, okay? And not large stupid debt. Again, this isn't we went on shopping sprees. This is we have a family business. We own a family business, and that comes with tons and tons of costs. And so we have some business loans that we need to pay off, and I have my student loans to pay off. And we are still holding on to credit cards from 7 years ago, from when we had $0 and we were paying for groceries with credit, that we've never been able to pay off. And so as much as it would be great to have $40,000 a year in a second income, that wasn't going to work for our family. It wasn't going to work for what we wanted. And I just wanted to have extra income. Adam and our family business make enough money on its own, very much on its own, to cover all of our everything. What I wanted was something that was going to help us fast track paying off our debt. And that was the thing that was going to be huge for me. It's a thing that I really, really wanted to make happen. And so in my first month of teaching, I started, my first official class was March 4th. And so I worked from March 4th all the way through to March 31st. So that was my first full calendar month, my first full calendar pay. And for my first month, I was being paid monthly, because you have the option of being paid monthly or semi-monthly. And I chose after my first month to be paid semi-monthly. But in my first month, I was able to bring in enough money that I was shocked. I don't like talking about money. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's not my thing. I don't do this for the money. I don't do anything for the money. I'm not a kind of person that just wants to, I could have taken any job. I could have done anything, and I wanted to teach. It's what I wanted to do 10 years ago. It's what I, kind of strayed away from, because that's what happens sometimes, especially when you have kids. You don't do exactly what your life what you think your life is going to look like at 16 isn't what your life looks like. And so my life didn't look like that, but my passion for teaching has never gone away. And so I teach children in China from ages like 3 to, I think my oldest student is 15. I teach them English as a second language, and I work in the morning and I work in the evening. And I choose to do overnights on some Friday and Saturday nights because it's extra money and it's more money that I can put towards the things that we're wanting to pay off. But in my first full month of teaching, I was able to make almost $3,300. And I don't say that for any other reason other than to say, like, it's legit. Like, it's legit. It's not an MLM. This is not network marketing. It's not like anything like that. But I know that I've had a lot of people ask me about teaching, what it is, how I got into it. I literally stumbled upon it. Okay. Like, I literally stumbled upon it. I ended up getting a hiring help coach, which VIPKID like offers, and some of their teachers become a hiring help coach, basically just to like help you get through the hiring process, to give you, like, as you can see behind me, like all the props, help you with like, you know, what is the interview going to look like, how to pass the interview, how to just get through all the things, like to know exactly what you're doing. And so that's something that I am currently, you know, starting to like a little bit get into, is the hiring help part. But guys, I teach Monday through Sunday, a couple hours every day. You know, my Monday to Friday usually looks like 2-3 hours a day. And then, like I said, I choose to work some Friday and Saturday overnights. And I was able to, from right here, I was able to make $3,300 last month. And this actually isn't, Adam has our other one, but if you don't follow Debt Free Charts, you should, or go to her website, debtfreecharts.com. If you're looking to pay off any kind of debt, follow the Budget Mom. I talk about them all the time on my social medias. But this is like some of our loans and bills and things that are past due. And you're probably looking at it like, okay, but Emily, like, you have whoa. But like, some of these aren't like major things. They're just things that like I consider past due because they've been on our, like, we need to pay them off for a really long time kind of things. But I was able to put $3,300 of my pay into paying off debt. And because I was able to do that, because I worked what I worked and did all of those things, Adam has the other one, like I was going to say. We have another one for one of our business loans, and we were able to pay cash for $2,400. So in addition to paying $3,300, we also paid, you know, $2,400, whatever that equals, $5,700, in 1 month worth of debt. And so that's huge to me because I didn't have to pay for a sitter. I didn't have to go somewhere else. I didn't have to do any of those things. I just got to teach. I got to sit here, use my little puppet guy, which I have still yet to name. So if you guys can help me name him, that'd be great. Obviously, I have my bestest Harry Potter friend over here. I have like all my props. I actually don't know what happened to my ice cream. I think one of them fell. But I just hang out right here every morning, sometimes in the evening, overnights. I play with props. I teach kids how to speak English. I read stories to them. This is one of the ones that we read today. It's an Eric Carle book that we read. I have like all the things, you guys. And like, these are all things that you don't have to like go out and search for. You don't have to like figure it out. I'm not creating lessons. They're all given to me. And I'm just helping the students learn English from a native English North American speaker. And that's what my first month of teaching has been. It has been freaking phenomenal. I've taught over 200 students. I have so many of my regulars that like just like melt my heart. Like one of my favorite students, Jimmy, is like, he's so cute. Oh my God. Like the first lesson that I ever taught him, he's like 8 or 9 years old, and the first lesson that I ever taught him, we got to the end and he was like, oh, play tic-tac-toe, play tic-tac-toe. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So that's like what we do as his like secondary reward throughout his entire class. So like every couple of slides in the lesson, we play tic-tac-toe. It's like a brain breather for him. He has so much fun with it. We have like free talk at the end of every lesson where, you know, we just like chat with the kids and ask them questions about things that were in the lesson, some of the objectives, get them talking, get them, you know, speaking English, getting them to have a conversation back and forth. And he actually the other day, this was like so fun because it's like totally my kind of thing. And it actually reminded me of my friend Rayanne too, because she went to like an elephant sanctuary when her and her now husband went on their vacation. But he was talking to me, our lesson was on animals, and we were talking about elephants and places that you can go and all these things. And his grandparents live in Thailand and they have like a small animal sanctuary. They have 10 elephants and they have so many dogs and all this stuff. And he was like having this full-on conversation, and it just like melts my heart to be sitting in the classroom talking to these kids and seeing like their progress in even just like a month's time. Like I think I've taught him like 11 times in the last 5.5 weeks, and to see like the growth that he has had has been phenomenal. And then I gotta say though, like out of all the kids that I teach, all the levels of kids that I teach, my little guys are my favorite. Like they are my favorite. They melt my heart. We sing, we dance, we play, I bring out all the props, all the things. I have like a bin underneath this desk that has like stuffed animals and like toy food and all the things. I have like a bin full of like 2D props that don't take up any space. I can like travel with them. I can take them wherever I want. But it's so fun to like bring out my puppet and have conversations and just like see them come out of their shell. Like when you're talking like a 3 to 5 year old who's learning a second language, doesn't really know like what to expect or what's going on or any of those things. Like it's so fun to see them like start the class kind of like down here a little bit, like hiding behind their parents, not really wanting to talk. And then by the end, like they're screaming and they're singing and they're dancing and they're running around their house, finding all the objects that we're talking about. Like if I'm like, oh, look, blue, and I'm like teaching them blue, they'll like get up and run around their house trying to find things that are blue. Or I had a little guy the other day, we were learning the word apple, and his dad kept yelling at him, not yelling like mean, but like was like, sit down, because he was getting so excited and wanting to get stuff. So he was like then getting his dad to go and find all the things that he wanted to show me. So he sent his dad into the kitchen to go and get an apple so that he could show me he understood apple and like was showing me the apple. But it has been the best freaking month ever. I absolutely love it. I love everything about it. Like every week you set your schedule for like the following week. So you're the one that decides, you know, if you're only able to work 2 hours a day, then work 2 hours a day. If like, you know that you're going to be off or you're going to have like more time or whatever the case is, then like you can open up more slots to have more classes, earn more money. You can close classes. You can close classes and then open them for short notice bookings, which you earn more money for because they're booked within 24 hours of the time slot. It's just like, I just love it. I love every single freaking thing about it. So that is my first month in a nutshell. It has already helped us pay down some major debt that we've been looking to pay off. It has like brought back this like life and joy into me again, which in all honesty, like I'm gonna try really hard not to cry. If you follow me on social, the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks have been really difficult. And having teaching that is sparking joy, and it's the thing that like I love so much as like an escape, has been phenomenal. But yeah, so that's my first month. If you guys have any questions, if you are wanting to teach so that you can travel, or you are, you know, a stay-at-home mom like me, you want to be a stay-at-home mom, you want to pay off extra debt, whatever the thing is, like, don't hesitate to ask. I would love to answer any and all of your questions. I answer them all the time on Instagram for people that are like, okay, what are you teaching? I actually went and got my hair did you hear that? Hair done today. And my girlfriend that does my hair was asking me about teaching and like how it works and like what it's all about and all the things, and I'll just talk forever about it. Like, I'll answer any of your questions. I can help you through the hiring process, give you guys like access to a ton of the props that I have, a ton of the things that I use, some of the tips and tricks that I've kind of figured out over the last 6 weeks. But yeah, so I wanted to share my first month as a VIPKID teacher and all the friggin' things that it's done for me just in, 6 weeks, a month, whatever it's been. I don't even know. But yeah, so that is my update. I will talk to you guys later. Be sure to hit the subscribe, like the video, follow along. Like I told you guys, I am way behind on content. So you'll get some notifications if you hit the subscribe button, all about all the things that are happening, and I would love to keep connecting with you. So I will talk to you guys later.